Hello. Let's get started. Some big movements after hours on a whole lot of nothing. That, what Trump is calling the peace deal and Iran is calling an end to the war. Iran thinks they have guarantees. There's no way Trump agreed to those. So we'll see where this goes. Because Iran's guarantees are that they control the strait, that the U.S. pays reparations, that the U.S. completely leaves the Middle East and their proxies, and that all fighting ceases against Iran's proxies, the Houthis and Hezbollah. So there's no way that the U.S. is agreeing to any of that. So this is all a moot point, but here we go. The market does what it does, and we broke out of this channel. You see this big yellow thing? And so we are going to at least correct it. So let's see how far that gets us. We're almost at the 716. So that 25,390. So 25,400. The market loves the 716 retrace. So we'll see. I'll put a line there, and that'll be my target. I'll see if I want to short the market there. VIX, I think 2168 was my target. I had that a while ago before this turned up. When we were coming down from this, I thought we were going to hit it, but it turned up and now we're going to hit it, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. Oil should be stabilizing near here. It could go down to, I don't think it'll break in the 80s, but that doesn't mean it won't. It could go down there. That would be fine. I expect a snap back here, then maybe another drop. But this is by no means over. This is still rocking. Yeah, this shows we could drop to the 80s. Well, we'll see. We'll see if that happens. All right. NASDAQ, again, I expect it to just keep squeezing. Then we'll see what it does at 25,400. Let's look at some oil. Now, this is funny because oil collapsed. So you had Nove that was up almost 4% yesterday. And then off that complete oil collapse, I'm doing air quotes, this has just made a natural pullback. So let's see how the rest of oil looks. Okay, good. This looks like this should be the C wave. on these oil companies. So this is good. Get a little washout. Good. Okay. Indo. All right. 308. We could go a little lower. We could go down here. Actually, that's where I would have put a stop around 308. We could go 290, 280. I think we could probably go lower than that. Because my average is much lower than that, so I think we can go lower. Let's see, we're at 308 right now. I actually expect us to hold right in here. If we drop, we can go down to 248, 250. But I kind of expect us to hold right around here. Let's look at Valco. Valco down to $6. Again, that's just at the mid Bollinger. I would expect with a real drop, it come down to 540. That's where I would be looking to add. Yeah, iron would be the opposite up. Yeah, it makes sense. Rig at 640. Okay. Yeah. None of that bothers me. I look at it as good. I think this is a washout. Hopefully we get a couple days out of it, but we'll see. ET. Perfect. Touching that 200 again. Give me another shot at that. I don't recommend buying it. It's a tax nightmare. AR, perfect. Perfect. I love seeing these blood red. 13% drop on high peak. Excellent. Excellent. I just closed some options on that. Big drop in Bohr. Good. This is just, these things are just getting ready to make another move. They just needed to drop down. There was too much upward pressure on them, so they had to relieve it. Ooh, PBR, big drop. Like it. I like it a lot. See, that's an A, a B, and now we're getting a C washout. Hopefully it washes all the way down to $18. Hopefully some of my orders got filled. EC? Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure I got orders filled here. Perfect. I'm sure I had orders at 1330. Cosmos slaughtered. Sold some options just in time. Perfect. I'm sure uranium is having a big bounce. This is heavily shorted, so yeah, I'm sure it's flying. And that, I would say that's probably a serious bottom of some sort. That's except it's all after hours. I hate that. So no, I don't trust that now. I hate it when they do that. This is the same. No, this is different. And this had, let's see if it still does, a divergence on the weekly. This could be, I've been watching this. This could be really, really bullish coming out of here. The way that this has bottomed. And it did it during hours, as did SMR. But we'll look at that in a minute. There's you. Again, that was not during market hours. I don't like that. Here's the hypers. Lightbridge leading the way, of course. That was my favorite chart. Oklo, I'm not a fan of, but I still own it. Centrus, I like. Here we go. Nano, during market hours. NuScale, during market hours. So they all did during market hours except for UEC. Was that UEC? Yeah, that's a minor, I guess. So that'll move more with you, which did the same thing, not during market hours. I don't like those. I would think they'd have another drop, but we'll see. What about you, Roy? Not during market hours. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. I can't tell you that I hate that enough times. That drives me batty. Oh, I wonder if these got a bounce. Yeah, they did. And that'll get a big bounce, probably. 649 again. Yeah, I'm not in those any longer. AOI broke out of that channel. Iridium, I'm short Iridium. Still, because I don't believe this rally. BPA high. I want to see what these do when they hit the 200 with the 4-hour chart. ASTS at 100. Qubits. UMAC. During market hours. That's a divergence, so that's good. Yeah, there's FOMC minutes today, Let's see if this pulls it up. Inventories. There's a 10-year. Okay, that'll be something to keep an eye on. Daily, and then the meeting minutes. So that's going to be 2 hours before close. Those are going to come out. And then you're going to have Waller after that I assume soothes the markets. We'll see. We'll see what those meeting minutes say. It'll be interesting to see because the Fed is really trapped because oil's going to mean inflation's higher, but the unemployment's going up, so the economy needs lower rates. So that is the definition of stagflation, where you have a declining GDP and what he will call persistent or embedded inflation. And then the next day we get PCE, where we get to see that embedded inflation, and GDP, where we get to see the declining economy. So that'll be interesting because this will be the setup for it, the meeting minutes, and then these will be the numbers. So we'll get to see it play out in real time. Let's see if the market survives it. Again, I expect the market to rally, but I think we have a drop first, and a big drop. Bitcoin, I'm not bullish on this. See, we're just hitting our heads back on this trend. So I expect us to continue the drop. I think this is a Fugazi rally. This is not real. Let's check on the Qs. Because I think 609, thought we could go. 604 was my target, and then it moved to 609. Let's check this on. Okay, so against this high here, 637.29. It got ugly. That's a lot of lines. Okay. Now, if we're correcting from here, oh, that's not going to be right. That was the downside targets. We could do a correct from here. Let's see if that's what we're going to do. That would already have us past the 716. We can go as far as 99%, but I don't like that much. Because I think we're correcting from this 637 here. So I like this much better. Which would put your 716 at 614, 615. Which would put you into the upper reaches of this supply now. Back at the top. Yeah, that's a pretty big move. And that would shake out a lot of people. Definitely. Okay. Yeah, it blew past my short line here at 604. Luckily, it did it after hours, so I'm currently not shorting it here. So I get to wait until tomorrow and see if we can open at 6:15 or near there. We'll probably open around here. Let's see, what do we got on the 5-minute? We might push up again. Yeah. That would be something if we could open right near 6:15. That's it. I'm making myself dizzy. 6:14:45. Yeah, 6:15. All right. And my downside target is 550. Again, I don't like this because it was after hours. So if this would have happened during market hours, I would have been a major believer in this and a buyer. And for whatever reason, this rally is going up. I would have believed that. But because it happened not during market hours, I don't believe a word of this market rally. Not to say I won't participate, but I'm also shorting stocks as I ride them up. All right. And with that, I will close. Be safe, definitely, because the market likes to whiplash. I'll make a little point on that before I close off here, sign off. You have to know what you are, whether you're a trader, an investor. I'm an investor. I ride stocks for long phases. And because of that, I can short my own stocks, which I'm currently doing with a lot of them. And that also affords me the ability to day trade or trade when I want to. I'm not a trader that has to make a trade every day or make a winning trade every day or trade to pay bills. I don't need to do any of that. So, like right now, it's very late. So, when I'm done here, I'm going to go to bed with my brand new weighted cooling blanket with my giant fluffy dogs, and I'm going to sleep in well past open because I don't care what this does. The movement tomorrow doesn't matter to me. I'm going to wake up when I wake up. I'll walk up, turn my computers on, see if there's anything that I would like to buy or anything I would like to sell, and then I'll make my moves from there. I'm not beholden to the market. I do what I do, and I let the market be the market. I just wake up and make a play on what is happening. Like tomorrow when I wake up, I hope we're around 6:15. I will most likely be shorting that. But we'll see. We'll always see what happens when we get there. And with that, I will close. Definitely be safe, be wise, and be bold. And as always, good luck.